Hello, everybody. Old Guy Jammin' here. Got a pedal review today and Overdrive, of course. 'Cause what else is there? We're going to do the Timmy against the NUX Horseman. All right. Now, went to reverb. Reverb's really useful for a lot of things. For example, if you're interested how well something really is, was the hype worth the product? It's useful to go to reverb. For example, some time ago, I put my EVH LBX2 up against the PRS MT15, both really quality, solid amps. But I preferred the life, what am I even trying to say? The soul of the LBX to the MT15. And the MT15 was unbelievably hyped by PRS. Oh my gosh, the waiting list must have been deep because it was so hyped up. And yet it turned out to be, in my opinion, a much more sterile amp with less usable gain over the range of the knob than the EVH LBX2, which I think is a phenomenal amp with a lot of life to it, a lot of character. You can do a lot more tone-wise, whereas I thought the PRS MT15 was sounded really good, but sterile. Anyway, you can go to Reverb and see, for example, let's check out MT15s used, and you'll find that there's a ton of them for sale, which means a lot of people bought it and then wanted to sell it. Now, the LBX has been out for a much longer time. I would think, many more units have been sold. It's been out longer. You would think there'd be a lot more used LBXs offered on Reverb, and yet there are not. There's many fewer of the EVH model for sale used compared to the MT15, which, in my opinion, tells me I was right to keep that one. I think a lot of people bought it, realized, meh, and then sold it. But if there's a version 2 coming out at some point, I will be first in line to check it out because I really did like it. I just like this one better. So that's another good use for reverb. Now, did you check out the best overdrive pedals over the last couple years? That's an interesting thing. I love that Reverb does this. Of course, I'm a few weeks late, but that's all good. But for example, they have the best-selling pedals of 2018, and we go down to Overdrive specifically because who cares about reverb pedals? I'm just kidding, but the Neuenauer is the best reverb out there, so why go anywhere else? And but the best-selling Overdrives 2018, Full Tone OCD, Exotic EP Booster, Soul Food, got that one. Tube Screamer, I've got that one. Timmy, I've got that one. I don't have the EP Booster, but I think it's just a clean boost. And then the Full Tone OCD. So I've got 4 out of the 5 pedals, which makes me feel good. If you go to and that's 2018. If you go to 2019, again, Overdrive, you have, again, Full Tone OCD, the TS9 Tube Screamer, the Soul Food again, and the Timmy in 4th. This time the EP Booster is in 5th. But it's the same 5 pedals, just in a little different order. And I think that's really cool. I wouldn't look any further than any of those 5 pedals if you're new to overdrive pedals and want to check some out, because those have been the best-selling for 2 years in a row. Best-selling. All right, not votes or something like that. And you can go as far back as 2017, 2016 if you want to on Reverb and check that out. Now, of course, they have delay pedals and they have reverb pedals and they have other things. But Overdrive's where it's at. I used to think I needed a big delay pedal, but really you just need a delay you like that's quality. And funny enough, I took the Echo... I took the flashback off my pedal board in favor of the Behringer Echo Machine because the Echo Machine has trails. The delay will continue after you turn it off. It's an option. You can have it go either way, but it's an option. And I thought that was really good. And the delay is good. And if you look now, that's not being made anymore. On Reverb, to get an Echo Machine, you're up to $98, $125. Now, it's a good pedal, trust me. I'm not a big fan of many of the other Behringer pedals. I think you're getting what you pay for. But as far as a delay, I really like that, and I like it better than the Flashback. Okay, now also on Reverb, this Timmy going for, what did I see it for? $195 used. All right, $195 used for that bad boy right there. This is $69 brand new. They're going to start showing up used on Reverb. No battery in this. This will take a battery. Very nice transparent. You'll see in a minute which you kind of prefer. You'll see if there's any kind of benefit to this. Perhaps having the bass knob is a benefit. Takes a 9-volt adapter. I swapped out these knobs for blue and red. So in the video you could see that the red is gain and the blue is volume output, and then the red is gain. Black writing, super small font, black writing on a dark body. Hate that. As opposed to white writing on a dark body. But if you utilize blue and red knobs on your overdrive pedals that are like that, like the Mojo, you can't see a darn thing even when you're looking at it. Dark writing on a dark paint job. But if you use some blue and red knobs, you'll be able to see without having to, look too closely. You'll be able to see what's what. All right. And then playing my Telecaster, Wolf Telecaster for a nice, Teletone, open chords. We'll do some open chords, then we'll do some more punchy stuff. The neat thing about this is it has the ice mode. When you hold down on the pedal, this little blue light comes on, and it's more of a crunch pedal. It's crunchier overdrive rather than a nice transparent overdrive. But I'm pretty impressed with it. And then I got my new 6v6s from Tube Depot. Love Tube Depot. They have people that actually answer the phone and will talk to you about what you need or what you're looking for in a tube. Maybe a Mullard versus an Electro Harmonics. Tell them what characteristics you're looking for, and they'll steer you to a tube that can deliver more mids or less mids, or more gain, less gain. Very nice. And we're going to be doing a tube upgrade in that guy soon. Still really like the amp, and I'm wondering if it will benefit from some new tubes. So we'll put some in, bias it, we'll give it a listen, then put new tubes in, bias it, and give it another listen, see what happens. All right, so first time through, we're doing some light overdrive, because these are not distortion pedals, they're not even heavy overdrive pedals. They're light drive, translucent, transparent pedals. We'll see what you think. All right, I think I did everything I wanted to do. Cool. Stay tuned. right, so what did you think? Is it worth, 195 used is quite a bit. Now, Paul Cochran, you know what, too? I called the guy. I found his number on a blog. I think it was the Gear page, GearNet. And he said, if you're having any trouble with how this works, call me. I actually called him, and he picked up, and I talked to him about this. The funky thing with this pedal is that the treble and bass are cuts rather than adds. So instead, if you want more treble, if you want more clarity, you don't go that way. You just go this way. It's not too hard to understand, but apparently some people flip out over it. If you want more bass, you just go the opposite way. It doesn't take too much intelligence to just turn the knob and hear what's going on and adjust it accordingly. One issue I have with this is often I can't seem to get it bright enough. Now the TSA 15 amp is bright in nature. It's a bright amp, unlike the Marshall, which is a dark amp. And when I'm running this with the Marshall, I have a hard time getting it bright enough on its own without, having too much treble on the amp. So this is hard to get bright unless your amp is already really bright. Whereas this one has treble beyond, it'll offer up treble beyond what you have going on the amp easily. Both of them have lots of output. I think there's actually more clean output with the Horseman. I think there's a little more clarity as the gain goes up. There's a little more clarity and more bass in the tone from the Timmy. I seem to hear a fuller tone, and I think that's because of the additional bass, which is nice. However, is it nice enough to warrant an extra $200 when you're, on a budget perhaps? As far as transparent, this is a really nice drive. More transparent than the Soul Food. The Soul Food is a beautiful drive, but it has a way of grabbing your tone and chucking it around, whereas this leaves your tone alone and just adds to it. Now the neat thing about this though too is it's got that ice mode where if you hold this down, you've got a little more boost and a little more distortion, a little more drive, and that can sometimes be a nice thing. So it's got its own lead tone kind of built in. You can be, playing a riff or whatever, and with the overdrive on, and if you need more, just hold the pedal down and you get not only a little boost, but you get a little extra drive, which I like for leads as well. So there you have it. Cost is a huge factor. The new Overdrive by Cochran, the Timmy, is beautiful. It's seafoam green, and the bass and treble work more traditionally. But you're going to pay a lot for it as well. So I think I'm a big fan of that. Anyway, thank you so much for subscribing, and I love the comments. Let me know what you think about these two things, and we'll be back with more stuff soon. Have a great week.